Let's face it, Americans love their coffee. From the moment that alarm clock goes off, millions reach for a warm cup of joe. It's become a morning ritual, a social connection, and even a cultural phenomenon. But behind that rich aroma and comforting warmth lies a hidden side of coffee that deserves our attention. While most people can enjoy coffee in moderation, it's important to be aware of its potential downsides. Coffee is not just a harmless beverage. It's a complex cocktail of chemicals, including caffeine, a powerful stimulant that affects our bodies in various ways. Just like any stimulant, caffeine comes with a set of potential side effects, especially when consumed in excess. From impacting your heart rate to interfering with your sleep, the effects of coffee extend far beyond a simple energy boost. In the following sections, we'll delve deeper into the science behind coffee's effects, separating fact from fiction and providing you with the knowledge to make informed choices about your coffee consumption. Stay tuned. We all know that coffee wakes you up, but have you ever wondered how it works? The secret lies in caffeine's ability to block a neurotransmitter called adenosine. Adenosine is responsible for slowing down brain activity and making you feel tired. When you drink coffee, caffeine binds to adenosine receptors, preventing adenosine from doing its job. This results in increased brain activity, making you feel more alert and focused. While this might seem beneficial, especially on those early mornings, it's essential to understand that this is a temporary boost. As the caffeine wears off, adenosine builds up, leading to the infamous caffeine crash. This crash can leave you feeling more tired and sluggish than before you had that cup of coffee. Moreover, consistently relying on caffeine to wake up can disrupt your body's natural sleep-wake cycle, leading to more serious sleep problems down the line. One of the most immediate effects of coffee is an increase in heart rate. For some, this might just feel like a slight flutter, but for others, it can lead to uncomfortable palpitations. Caffeine stimulates the release of adrenaline, a hormone that prepares your body for fight or flight mode. This surge in adrenaline is what gives you that burst of energy, but it also causes your heart to beat faster and your blood pressure to rise. While these effects are usually temporary, they can be problematic for individuals with pre-existing heart conditions or high blood pressure. Studies have shown a correlation between high coffee consumption and an increased risk of heart disease, particularly in individuals who are genetically predisposed to these conditions. It's crucial to listen to your body and be mindful of how much coffee you're consuming, especially if you experience any discomfort or have underlying health concerns. While many people turn to coffee to relieve stress, the truth is that caffeine can actually exacerbate feelings of anxiety. Remember that adrenaline rush we talked about? Well, it also triggers a cascade of stress hormones like cortisol. These hormones are designed to help you cope with stressful situations, but when they are chronically elevated due to excessive caffeine intake, they can lead to feelings of anxiety, nervousness, and restlessness. Furthermore, caffeine can worsen the symptoms of pre-existing anxiety disorders such as generalized anxiety disorder and panic disorder. If you're prone to anxiety, it's essential to be particularly mindful of your coffee consumption and consider limiting your intake, especially during times of heightened stress. Remember, while a cup of coffee might seem like a quick fix for a stressful day, it can actually be counterproductive in the long run. Section 5. Coffee's grip. Understanding caffeine addiction and withdrawal. Let's face it, caffeine is addictive. If you've ever tried to skip your morning coffee, you're probably familiar with the unpleasant withdrawal symptoms that can occur. These can range from headaches and fatigue to irritability and difficulty concentrating. Caffeine withdrawal is a real phenomenon, recognized by the medical community as a clinical condition. It occurs because your body becomes physically dependent on caffeine to function normally with regular consumption. When you suddenly stop or significantly reduce your intake, your body goes through a period of readjustment as it tries to regain its natural balance. The severity of withdrawal symptoms varies from person to person, depending on factors such as how much coffee you typically drink and your individual sensitivity to caffeine. Recognizing that caffeine addiction is a real possibility is the first step towards making healthier choices for your body and mind. Section 6. Tossing and turning. How coffee disrupts your sleep. We all know that a good night's sleep is crucial for our physical and mental health, but did you know that coffee can interfere with your sleep? Caffeine's stimulating effects can linger in your system for several hours, making it difficult to fall asleep and stay asleep. Even if you don't experience difficulty falling asleep after drinking coffee, caffeine can still disrupt the quality of your sleep. Studies have shown that caffeine consumption can reduce the amount of deep sleep you get, leaving you feeling groggy and unrefreshed even after a full night's rest. The timing of your coffee consumption also plays a crucial role. Consuming coffee close to bedtime is a surefire way to sabotage your sleep. Experts recommend avoiding caffeine for at least 6 hours before bed to allow your body sufficient time to metabolize the caffeine and prepare for rest. Section 7. The Vicious Cycle. Coffee, sleep deprivation, and your health. Coffee and sleep often become trapped in a vicious cycle. When you don't get enough sleep, you're more likely to reach for coffee to combat fatigue. But as we've discussed, coffee can further disrupt your sleep, leading to a perpetual state of sleep deprivation. This chronic sleep deprivation can have serious consequences for your health, increasing your risk of various health problems, including obesity, type 2 diabetes, heart disease, and even certain types of cancer. Breaking free from this cycle requires addressing both sides of the equation, reducing coffee consumption and prioritizing good sleep hygiene. This includes establishing a regular sleep schedule, creating a relaxing bedtime routine, and ensuring your bedroom is conducive to sleep. Section 8. Beyond the buzz, long-term health risks associated with coffee. While the short-term effects of coffee are well documented, the long-term health risks are still being investigated. Some studies suggest that high coffee consumption over an extended period may be associated with an increased risk of certain health problems. For example, excessive caffeine intake has been linked to bone loss, particularly in women who are already at risk of osteoporosis. Additionally, some research suggests a possible connection between high coffee consumption and an increased risk of bladder cancer, although more research is needed to confirm this link. It's important to note that many of these studies show correlation, not causation. This means that while there may be a link between coffee consumption and these health issues, it doesn't necessarily mean that coffee directly causes them. More research is needed to fully understand the long-term health effects of coffee consumption. Section 9. Finding your balance. Tips for moderating coffee consumption. So, how much coffee is too much? The answer varies depending on individual factors such as your metabolism, caffeine sensitivity, and overall health. However, most health experts agree that moderate coffee consumption, up to 400 milligrams of caffeine per day for most adults, is unlikely to cause harm. This translates to about 4 cups of brewed coffee. If you're sensitive to caffeine or have any underlying health conditions, it's best to err on the side of caution and consume less. There are several ways to moderate your coffee consumption. Start by gradually reducing your intake to avoid withdrawal symptoms. Instead of reaching for that second or third cup, opt for a healthier alternative like herbal tea or water. Pay attention to how your body responds to coffee and adjust your consumption accordingly. Section 10. Listening to your body. Recognizing when to cut back on coffee. The key to enjoying coffee without experiencing its downsides is to listen to your body and be mindful of how it responds. If you experience any negative side effects such as anxiety, insomnia, digestive issues, or heart palpitations, it's a sign that you may need to cut back on your coffee consumption. Remember, coffee affects everyone differently. What works for one person might not work for another. It's about finding what works best for you. Don't be afraid to experiment with different amounts and types of coffee to see how your body reacts. And if you're ever in doubt, don't hesitate to consult with your doctor or a registered dietitian for personalized advice. Your health is worth it.